All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's me, Dukect T, back with you once again. We're now with the last story of the night. It is, well, keeping the streaming theme. Microsoft claims Sony pays for blocking rights to keep games off of Xbox Game Pass. Huge claim, and let's see if it actually is true. Not or whatever else, but it's interesting. As Microsoft has claimed Sony pays for blocking rights to stop developers from adding their content to Xbox Game Pass. These sorts of claims are part of documents filed with the Brazil's national competition regulator and part of a review of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft's ability to continue expanding Game Pass has been hampered by Sony's desire to inhibit such growth, claims Microsoft in an August 9th filing to the Administrative Council for Economic Defense, CADE, as translated from Portuguese. Sony pays for blocking rights to prevent developers from adding content to Game Pass and other competing subscription services. Does that mean Sony is evil and Microsoft is casually out here revealing some dastardly business practices? The reality is a lot more complicated on both sides. Sony could simply be paying for exclusive rights for its streaming services, or it may have clauses in some publishing contracts that prevent some games it publishes from being published on rival subscription services. It's not clear what exactly Microsoft is referring to here, but contracts for published games can be complex, particularly when rights for streaming and subscription services are involved. Documents filed in the Epic Games vs. Apple trial last year revealed Microsoft had been considering lowering the revenue split for PC games in exchange for the grant of streaming rights to Microsoft. If Microsoft had proceeded with its plans, that could have led to companies securing exclusive streaming rights on some games, preventing them from being available on rival streaming services. It all depends on how publishing contracts are written. And both Microsoft and Sony regularly secure game executives that involve timed releases, console exclusivity, and lots of marketing dollars. Microsoft is attempting to convince Brazil's CADE regulator that it should raid through the company's proposed acquisition of Microsoft Blizzard for $67.7 billion, while the Federal Trade Commission is analyzing documents from Microsoft on its acquisition in the U.S. That correspondence is private. That's not the case in Brazil, where its competition regulator offers up public documents that provide unique insight into the business competition between Microsoft and Sony. Documents from Brazil's CADE have been analyzed by Xbox and PlayStation fans over the past week, with posters of Reset Era highlighting the juicy parts. Oh, Reset Era, why hasn't that message board died yet? Ugh. The regulator has been asking Sony and other Microsoft rivals about the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Sony previously responded to Brazil's regulator, claiming that it will be difficult for other developers to create a franchise that rivals Activision's Call of Duty and that stands out as a gaming category on its own. Naturally, Microsoft disagrees, and Ubisoft, Riot Games, Manga, Namco, and Google have all highlighted competition to Call of Duty in the form of Apex Legends, Battlefield, PUBG, and more. Microsoft also claims that adding Activision Blizzard to the Xbox Game Pass will actually increase competition somehow. The inclusion of Activision Blizzard content in Game Pass does not impair the ability of other players to compete in the digital game distribution market, claims Microsoft in one document, where the company also argues it increases the competition thanks to highly quality content at lower immediate costs. Sony hasn't responded to this particular point yet, but at 10, $15 a month for Xbox Game Pass, it's easy to imagine customers picking that option to play titles like Call of Duty instead of paying $60 or more to purchase and own the game. Microsoft also argues that not distributing games like Call of Duty at rival console stores would simply not be profitable for the company. Microsoft has previously made it clear it will keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Microsoft said its strategy of not distributing Activision Blizzard games on rival consoles will only be profitable if the games could attract a high number of players over to the Xbox ecosystem, resulting in revenue to compensate for their losses for not selling these titles on rival consoles. Whether Microsoft claims about blocking rights are accurate, it wouldn't be the first time Sony has used financial incentives to block game developers. Sony held back PS4 cross-platform play for years and implemented a cross-play revenue share for publishers that wanted to enable cross-play in their games. Sony's cross-platform revenue share forced publishers to pay Sony a royalty whenever PlayStation players contributed more than a certain percentage to the bottom line of a cross-platform game to offset the reduction in revenue from Sony enabling crossplay. Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney testified last year that Sony was the only platform holder that required this compensation for crossplay. We reached out for Sony to comment on Microsoft claims and to Microsoft to clarify what Sony blocks. We haven't heard back from either company yet, and we don't expect either will comment on these explosive details. But we'll be watching the documents from the Brazil case carefully in the coming days to see if or how Sony responds to Microsoft claims. Well, that was an interesting read. And honestly, it looks, if you're looking past history, it does seem that Sony would do some type of things like that. Like I said in the article earlier, I read earlier that the class and the cross-platform, they were the only ones that were the ones who wanted anyone who wanted to do cross-play and such. They had to pay the Sony, Sony tax and such. Pay a bit of a royalty for them to do the crossplay. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was some type of chicanery with Sony doing the blocking rights to keep games off pass, especially something lucrative as Call of Duty for Sony and everything else, and PS5s and the PS4s and all that stuff. Would not surprise me. And that is, well, again, that could be, one of these big issues. On the other hand, some would say, hey, this would cause, Microsoft to have pretty much a de facto monopoly, having, Call of Duty, they're the only ones who do Call of Duty. You don't need to own it, but you have Game Pass or whatever. You can just download it and just play it without really owning the thing, but only paying a subscription service for it. And that's a really, other than space, which I just recently bought a little 4 terabyte thing for my Xbox. That's the only, I got an Xbox Series X. It's supposed to have it's pretty much almost filled up, by the way. So I bought a 4 terabyte thing right there to, hold up other stuff. And I think that's going to be filled up pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be filled up. These games, man, they're too damn big and they're too fat, in most of these games, Mostly on the Xbox, the Xbox, PC, and PS5, the Sony stuff. Switch though, playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, only 16 gigabytes. When's the last time you had one of these big AAA games on these systems had only this is gonna be only 16 gigabytes? When's the last time? Let me just look at this. I was wrong about the file size. It's going to be, let me just put this up here. Xenoblade Chronicles 3's file size is not 16 gigabytes, it's 15! 15 gigabytes, and I love this one says, an action RPG which is due exclusive to the Nintendo Switch is quite hefty. 15 gigabytes is hefty. Hefty! 15 gigabytes is hefty, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. This thing wouldn't wow. 15 gigabytes is hefty. And it's for the platform, but that is to me hefty, man. Nah. Could you imagine having, imagine this imagine a huge RPG going for the Xbox, PS4 or PS5 or your PC's it's only it's gonna be hefty. It's gonna be 15 gigabytes. And by the way, it's still a little higher than Xenoblade Chronicles file size. It's 13.2 gigabytes, and the file size for Definitive Edition Where the Chronicles is 13.7. Oh man, what is that? Is that to me? And I have more fun. I know there's a little bit of slowdown in some of these games, but you know what? I don't care. I'd rather have a little bit of slowdown than I'd rather have a bit of slowdown and have a fun game. And they have 15 gigabytes instead of just having just look at this, man. Just the 15 gigabytes, and then you got like, most of these Xbox stuff is like 70, 80, or like 150, 200, 300, 400 gigabytes, 500 gigabytes, and that's just, the base game, not even going with the DLC, the costumes, all that stuff. And that is, to me, that's the problem. I don't know what else is there, though. I don't know. Yeah. But that's just me. Anyway, that is it, Bill. But, I think I just went to a little bit of a rant. But, yeah. Back to the story. I think that this stuff here, the Microsoft stuff, I think there's something there. But as long as, until we see more of this story, and it, this was yesterday, but when this stage comes out, when there's more stuff coming, I think we need to, maybe it is. If it is the case, there's going to be, I think they're going to unblock the rights, or they're going to just say Microsoft might permanently not the game. Maybe they'll make an understanding. Hopefully, once we figure this stuff out and get this stuff open, we'll finally get like a deal and say, hey, these big guys say, hey, we want you to do this. We'll lease them out. Make some, okay, these are exclusives, and they will be on Game Pass for like maybe, okay, Call of Duty, whatever, next one is going to be on exclusive for the Xbox, and, you're going to be on there for both Sony or whatever, but they will be, the Game Pass will be like limited. Like you can get the Game Pass, but it will probably be for like 5 or 6 months. So that's probably what's going to happen. But that's my personal opinion. Anyway, I think that is it for the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. This is Dukect T. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.